I'm trying to get my laptop up because Goodreads hates Android users. Let's be real, Goodreads hates everybody, but Goodreads really hates Android users. Do you know I cannot go on the app and I cannot go on the desktop version on my phone and sort by rating. Like, I can't pull just 1-star or 5-star reviews. Why do you hate us, Goodreads / Amazon? So today I want to do something that I've seen so many people do. A whole bunch of my friends have done them, and I decided to do it myself too, and that is I want to react to 1-star Goodreads reviews for some of my favorite books. So today we are going to be looking at 1-star reviews for the 5th season, Sword of Kaigen, and the Poppy War. So we're going to start with the 5th season and read a couple, react to them, see what I think, because that is probably one of my absolute favorite books. So let's see how this goes. Oh, this is a novel, y'all. This person wrote, it's long. We're just gonna paraphrase it. I'm told N.K. Jemisin has won yet another, probably deserved, Hugo Award, her 3rd in a row. As some of Yaz are probably well aware, I'm not fond of her writing style nor of her bullshit books. Well, okay then, tell us how you really feel. What can I do? I just don't like her stuff. Anyways, where was I? This is pretentious as hell, y'all. Oh, yes. I was just trying to read the 1st installment of The Broken Earth. I just failed to finish it, and ended up throwing the bastard on the Barbie along with the shrimps and prawns. Ruining both my shrimps and prawns, just so you know. All right, literally there's just a novel about how much they didn't like it, and the internet does. And they gave no reason to not like it. Okay, so you don't like her writing style. That's fine, that's acceptable. But I want to know why. I need more. And why would you throw a book on a barbecue? And then, okay, this person has a really, this review gets really weird. This person's I know I should be talking about the 5th season, but tell you what, I've learned my lesson and I'm going to write about my day instead, eh? The weather's been glorious and I thought I'd take my camera for a walk. And then there's pictures of their hometown. For real. Pictures of this person's hometown. I'm gonna see if I can put in some screenshots. Cause the church and a shopping mall. This is obviously pre-COVID. Cause no one's wearing a mask. And yeah. A Ronda Rousey fight. I don't know why there's pictures of that. So this person just didn't like the 5th season, and I still don't know why, but I got to see their hometown, so that was nice. Oh, this one's funny. What a waste of time. I very disappointed in book. No characters, no plot, not even pages. It turns out it doesn't even actually exist. Okay, so I don't think it's fair to rate books when you DNF. What about you? Do you rate books when you DNF them? I try not to. I just DNF them, and maybe I'll do a review, but I won't put a star rating. This person does not see eye to eye with me. DNF. I know I'm in a minority here, as most of my Goodreads friends, whose reviews I often look to for recommendations, rated this book very highly. I just couldn't get past the style. 2nd person and present tense. I found I was so distracted by the style, I wasn't paying attention to what was happening, and then I realized I had no idea what's going on. Okay, that I can actually understand. I can understand this book is confusing. 2nd person and the fact that it's in present, it's not for everyone, but I can at least understand this review. But I don't think we should be rating star ratings when we DNF. Let me know. Is that a hot take? Ooh, I like this one. This one's real long. Another novel. Why is it when people write like negative reviews, they write like a freaking whole ass novel? Just terrible. The writer does not understand money, electricity, or physics. Or bureaucracy. The book has no ending, no climax. Which means it's not a story. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, sir. So, let's break this down. The beginning. The story has no climax. Well, like, yeah, it does. Like, for one, it's a trilogy, so it can be looked at as all 3 books. But there is definitely a beginning, middle, and end in book 1. So, I'm not understanding that, like, at all. There's definitely an aha moment and a climax and like rising action. So I don't know what you're talking about. And the writer not understanding money and electricity and physics and bureaucracies. Like, this is a fantasy world, sir. Everything, they can make everything up. Everything's made up and the bureaucracy don't matter. Like, I'm really confused about that aspect. Like, this isn't the real world. This is like a fantasy world. This is not even set on Earth. Like our Earth. The setting has no internal consistency. An agrarian culture with people on horses, knives, crossbows for weapons, and compasses are very valuable. Telescopes are rare. And each community has its own political entity. Okay. But wait, there are telegraphs, books are plentiful, and electric lights, 10,000 years of written records, and ships carrying volatile chemicals as cargo. Yeah, it's a fantasy world where the world has been destroyed multiple times. So it's like they had it, How do characters get lost and wander if there are telegraph lines? I mean, I can get lost with a GPS, so there's that. How can characters have electricity but claim it took months to understand hydroelectric power? Because the world's ended. Okay, I like this part. So there might be spoilers for 5th season if you haven't read it. Certainly the worst part is when the primary character wipes out an entire city of 100,000 people in her action or inaction. Does she lament? Does she question? Does she scoff? Nope. 1 page later, she's trying to work out the politics of setting up a bisexual 3-way with her gay male lover and her bisexual pirate king, and oh, she's pregnant. It's comically bad writing. 2 years pass in the story after murdering 2 more ships full of innocent people. She decides to revisit the city she wiped out. Oh, now she's sort of sorry. Okay. Like, her not feeling anything towards those people, like, for one, she does, and it shows that, so I'm confused. But also, like, she is portrayed as, like, a pretty hard character. Like, she's not lovely, snuggly person. And also, like, these are people that, like, look down on her for who she is and try to kill her and hate her. So, like, why should she give a flying fuck? Like, and it's not, like, a bunch of innocent people. Like, it is, but it's whatever. The beginning of this book is essentially words demanding aspirin. I've never heard it called this. This book moves between characters, no problem. However, the author chooses to use game voice for one of the characters. You look around, you answer a question, you wonder why. Game voice is only good for games. I'm sorry, this is called second person POV, and there's a reason for it. There is a literal reason these books are written in second person POV. Read the rest of the books. Like, finish the book. There's a purpose for it. Like, there was a reason. Like, it all makes sense. Like, winning the Hugo says nothing about this book. The fact that this book won a Hugo says everything about the broken Hugo system. No! Sir! I love this book so much. But, like, really? Okay, so, like, maybe the Hugo system isn't perfect, but oh my god. This book is so good. This one just says, why would you call binoculars long eyes and not call geometry shapes math? I mean, I don't know. I have no answer for that one. Because that's what Jemison wanted. Most of these are complaining about second person POV, which I can understand, but like, this one says, it's so depressing. Like, what? Like, yes, this is depressing. Oh crap, I can't read this thing. The writing is all over the place. And the focus, where is the focus? R.I.P. Hugo Award. Y'all so mean to Jemison. Okay, this dude. This one was either way over my head or way under my ass. I got a quarter of the way through before I decided I just didn't give a shit. Recommend this for chicks. So you're not smart enough to read this, but girls are. Got it! This one just says this book was awful. Seriously, don't read it. Don't look at it. Don't read the stupid book. And don't read the 5-star reviews and think to yourself, this sounds interesting. I think I'll give it a try. Why? Because those reviewers are liars. That's right. They are liars. Okay, someone is super angry about the 5th season. Everyone DNFs it. All the 1-stars are DNFs. Literally everything complains about second person. Literally every single one of these. This person DNF'd because of bad language. This is an adult book, sir. Like, we're not 12. We can curse. And the second person POV. I love this one. Okay, way beyond pretentious. Even without the second person POV, if I wanted poetry, I would have picked up a Dr. Seuss book. What does it say about this person that they think Dr. Seuss is like good poetry? Okay, so this is gonna be our last one for the 5th season, and it's a good one. A brief list of some errors in this novel. No character development. What? Did we read the same book? Cause like, our main character develops literally so much. Literally this whole book is her character development. Like, literally. Okay. Poor descriptions. I couldn't see anything. Characters are haphazardly thrown in with a paragraph or two about their skin or hair or some other let's talk about breeding human sentence that the reader could not care less about. Maybe, I don't know, like I could picture them pretty well, so there's that. The world building sucked. No! This is probably a cool world, but I don't care because I was not given enough information. The map is not enough. It's acceptable. The book was vague with its introductions. There's a glossary at the back, but that's not an excuse. I thought the world building was great. Like, I totally saw everything. Like, this world is so intricate and detailed and we learn so much. Like, what do you mean? Please, can we not have random sex all over the place? I mean, that was an important part of one of the stories though, was like the sex. Like it was actually a plot point meant to drive home social commentary. There is so much world-specific terminology that it gets obnoxious. Particularly because none of it was explained. This person just needs their hand held, okay? Obviously. Also, why are there normal swears in there along with things like rusting? Whatever the heck world-specific swears are. Because there is, like, there is in other books too. This isn't the only book that has world-specific and, like, our regular swears. Like, the Poppy War does it too. But obviously this person just needs their hand held because like they don't understand any of this. No, okay. Look, I can see past that you're used to skipping over stupid excerpts at the beginning of fantasy novel chapters, So I'm gonna put them at the end of the chapters instead. The excerpts were dumb. I loved that. Okay, so I love when fantasy books have excerpts either at the beginning or the end of every chapter. Like, just like little things. Like Stormlight does it, Mistborn does it, Fifth Season does it. Like, a lot of books do it, and I absolutely love it. So, Why would you write in second person? Please do not force your lifeless character on me. Not fun. This book isn't fun. Like, it's not meant to be fun. Ugh. There's probably more, but I've reached 7, which is kind of a bad fantasy trope number. And this book was full of bad fantasy tropes that didn't do well. So I'm not even going to mention the absence of plot. Why were there random stone things and obelisks and stuff? That is explained in subsequent books, ma'am. What did the last sentence mean? Why was everything in the book trying to be so mysterious? Because it's a fucking trilogy, and they needed some setup for book 2 and 3. Okay, I'm done ranting about 1-star reviews of N.K. Jemison's book. Let's do, what should we do next? Sword of Kaigen? I think that only has like 2. Let's see what we got here for Sword of Kaigen. 1 star. There's not very many 1-star reviews for Sword of Kaigen, so that's good. And honestly, I don't think I disagree with a lot of these. A lot of these are DNFs too. Oh my god, this one is funny. DNF'd at 50%. I really tried to get into this and I just could not for the love of God. Since I was using my laptop to copy some DVDs, yes, I still do that. I was reading on my phone. So I skimmed some chapters to see if the story got any better. Unfortunately, it did not. This is another training academy battle revenge story centered around a 14-year-old boy from a planet called Duna. It's basically Japan with another name. This is definitely not your average like school training story. It doesn't fully revolve around Mamoru. Like, I don't understand that. Like, it's not an academy story. Like, there is a school, but like that's not the main setting at all. So this person just was not a fan of the school. Also didn't finish it. Oh, here's another 1-star review for Sword of Kaigen. Sword of Kaigen is racist. I came looking for an Asian-inspired fantasy novel and ended up disgusted by political and racial messaging that underpins the narrative. Japanese Kaigen are good. Rangan, I don't know how to say it. Rangan Chinese are bad. The author has clearly consumed far too much Naruto in anime. The subtleties of geopolitics in Eastern Asia are clearly lost on Miss Wang, as is the emotionally charged history of colonialism, oppression, and rape. This would be less of an issue if various Asian cultures were merely the inspiration for her setting, but blatantly ripping off the Japanese, Korean, Chinese speaking and naming conventions for half-hearted world building. Recommend for self-hating Asians and cosplayers. Oh, that one went deep. I mean, I cannot speak to this being racist because I am not neither Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. So I cannot speak to that. That's the first I've heard that argument. I know that ML Wang herself is Asian. I believe she's Japanese, but I could be wrong. She is Asian American, so I don't know how true any of that is. All right, this one says DNF'd at 11%. Like, that's not even far into this book. Not sure if I just wasn't in the mood, but this book did not grab me. It had all the things like swords, some Avatar The Last Airbender style magic, school training that I love, but there was something about a setting that didn't do it for me. My brain could not get over the fact that there is magic and sword fighting along with fighter jets, tablet PCs, and state-of-the-art hospitals. I guess that's valid. Like, we didn't really let it get too far in at that point to like really see much of the world, but I can get the setting being weird. It was jarring for me because I didn't know it was going to be super modern either, but I kind of liked that. All right, next. The last one we're going to look at is the Poppy War. I know this one's going to have some really fun 1-star reviews. Like, Sword of Kaigen is just like not as well known, I don't think. Like, it's not as big, so it makes sense like there's not very many. But oh my god, the Poppy War has so many reviews. Most of them are positive. Let's see, it has an average rating of 4.1, which I feel like is really good. So let's sort. It only, oh, it has quite a few 1-star reviews. There's stuff. They're all freaking novels. Okay, I like this one. Boom. Here we go. 1-star review for the Poppy War. This review will probably be one that most people don't want to hear. But it's A, my opinion, and B, needs to be said. This book is not feminist. Nope, not even a little bit. When did we claim that, like, this was feminist? Like, I don't remember that. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's terrifying how many self-proclaimed feminist women on this website laud it as such. I don't know if it's the bandwagon effect or if people feel as if they have to like it because of the author's standpoint on why she wrote the book. But, No, I don't feel like anyone, I don't know, feels like they have to like it, but, I mean, I like it. Let me get this out of the way. I think that Miss Kwong's self-proclaimed purpose of writing the book is rather noble for a 19-year-old. For those of you who were unaware, she said she wrote the book with the intent of spreading awareness about the horrors of what the Japanese did during the rape of Nanking, since people are trying to erase such things from history courses. Okay, true stories. Very true stories. I also think she failed at doing this. I'm not sure why she didn't write a historical fiction piece, except for the reason the story would sell better. I mean, is it the point to get it to sell? Like, we want this to sell, so let's sell it. I'm not sure why writing a book about the horrors of the rape of Nanking needed to be I'm a kick-ass girl who acts like a boy type of book. I don't think Ren acts like a boy, but I mean, maybe. Which brings me to my second problem. It's not feminist. Isn't that your first problem? Like, did we lose count? Neither are the other so-called feminist books on Goodreads that teach women the most feminist they can be is to turn themselves into men. Yup, that's all this book is saying. As a woman, I don't know why any other woman would find this empowering. I don't think this is like a feminist, female empowering book. Like, is that how it's marketed? Because, like, the main character literally has a hysterectomy at the age of 15 in order to be successful in the army because too much of a hassle to deal with her having a period every month. I liked that part. I thought it was realistic. I enjoyed that. We're putting my hair up. It's getting real. Well, I'll talk about the hysterectomy more below. It will be titled The Hysterectomy Rant if you want to scroll down. Everything else here will be issues I found with the book. Oh my god, this person wrote the whole, they used to just write their own novel. Okay, and then they're like, okay, I didn't like the writing. And then you shall carry Madame Zeroni up the mountain. Okay. I'll give them that one with the whole like Madame Zeroni and the mountain and the peg and I'll give them that one. Okay, and they're also, this is the same person, saying that it's ableist because during one of the fight scenes, like, one of the characters is, like, really badly injured, and they mention how it would be better and kinder to just kill him instead of letting him live unable to, like, serve in the army and fight. So, I mean, I can understand. It makes sense in the story, though, because, like, they're in the military, like, and it's the times, and, like, it is. It's not happy. Literally, we're still, this is, like, I'm scrolling, and it's, like, all ranting about this hysterectomy. I can't even. Like, it was literally, like, 3 pages of the story, and this person wrote a longer rant about this hysterectomy than the actual, like, page count of the book. Person really hated it. Oh, that's loud. This one, I'm not reading all of these. These are so long. Why are they so long? Do not believe the hype. This is not a book about realistic war. This is a book about children who use magical abilities to defeat the armies in completely silly ways. It's a fantasy book, and it's pretty war realistic, but, like, it's a fantasy book, so there's magic. Like, I don't know why you're so mad about there being magic in a fantasy book. Probably the silliest part of this whole book was the psychedelic god dreams. We're supposed to believe that 8 people can destroy entire armies. All they have to do is get high and talk to gods, but no one believes them. I mean, isn't that the point? Like, yeah, that you are supposed to believe that because it's a fucking fantasy book. This one just says, if you're into stuff like this, you can read the full review. Bullshit Fantasy, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This person, again, wrote an entire novel that we're just not going to read. This person wrote it in multiple languages. I appreciate that. Okay, I disagree with this person thoroughly. Twas not good, which was disappointing. Everyone said the main character would end up a villain, but she did not do so convincingly. And the narrative frames her as more of a morally gray hero anyway. Alton was my favorite. He deserved better. Alton was trash. Like, he was supposed to be trash. Okay. And Ren was definitely anti-hero, morally gray. Like, she wasn't the full villain. So, oh, this person really hated it. Again, another novel. And she's like, oh man, I really wanted to love this. I also hope that R.F. Kuang does not read Goodreads reviews. Because this is her debut. And she should learn to get around some of these issues. Likes. There's not many of them. But here we go. There's a female protagonist. That's a plus. And Kitai. Which dislikes. It's misogynistic. Well, yes. Also, there were shockingly few women. Also, yes. Just super gratuitous. Also, yes. But, like, none of these things are negatives yet. But I guess they are. It's gratuitous, dirty violence. And vulgar. That's another one. There's not a whole lot of women. But that's, I mean, okay. There was quite a few women. I mean, the Empress and then Ren, Venka. Like, there were quite a few women. But, like, not as many women go into military service as men in this world. Probably in our world too. I don't know. I've never been in the military. And then it's sexist. Like, yes, that time period in real world was pretty sexist. This person really wants it to be Alton's story though, and I could not disagree more. Like, why does everyone get so mad that she ripped out her uterus? Like, that's what so many of these are. This person said, this book is so edgy, it was like it was coming at me with a switchblade. I don't understand the praise for this book. The tonal shift halfway through was so sudden it damn near snapped my neck. That's the point. You got the point, sir, ma'am. You got the point. Okay. This is not a fantasy novel. This is some kind of fanfic of all the books the author has read in her life. What do we really have here from her? Poorly written book with an indecent amount of cliches, a sea of silly conventions, the stupid heroine acting like a 10-year-old child who you permanently want to shake violently, and the story, which, as banal as it is, at least the beginning was a page turner, but became an absolute mess in the middle. Well, I didn't think it was cliche. Well, I don't think I can handle this anymore. This was fun. Not at all fun, but fun. Hopefully you had fun reading some one-star reviews of some of my favorite books with me. If these are your favorite books, then you feel my pain. If you hated them too, then oops, I'm sorry, but I loved them. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, guys.